Hey everybody. I was going through assignment 0701 and we have some subtraction problems that have mixed numbers, and you cannot subtract the fraction from the fraction because you have to regroup. And I did not teach this yet. So this video is going to be talking about regrouping. Okay, I'm going to switch my screen so you can see my hover cam. All right. So in this exercise, I'm going to show you how to regroup a mixed number so you can subtract. All right. So I'm going to give some examples. Say I'm going to have 2 and 2 fifths, and I want to subtract 4 fifths from that number. All right. I cannot take 4 from 2. That is not possible. Otherwise, you just can't. So I have to regroup. I have this whole number here, all right? And this whole number, I can write as a fraction. So what I can do, I'm going to show you 2 different strategies, okay? 2 strategies. All right, the first one is by using a number bond. And my second one is going to be multiplying. All right, so the first one I'm going to show you is using a number bond. All right, you use number bonds in lower grades, and I'm going to show you how you can use them to help you regroup. All right, well, I have a whole number here. I have 2 whole numbers. And my denominator in my fraction is going to tell me what my whole numbers are going to look like. So if I have 5 in my denominator and I have a whole number, then I actually have 5 fifths is my whole, okay? And I'm going to take 1 whole away, and then I'm going to have 5 fifths is my second whole. And I want to get rid of that last whole, so I have 0, and I'm going to add another 5 fifths because 5 fifths equals 1 whole. All right, and I have 2 wholes. So now what I want to do is I want to add each one of these together. So 5 plus 5 plus 2 is 12. So 12 fifths is the same thing as 2 and 2 fifths. And then you can subtract 4 fifths. And you get 8 fifths, all right? And then we know that that's an improper fraction. So I can make that into a mixed number. So we're kind of reversing it, and now we're going to make it back into a mixed number. I know that 1 5 goes into 8 with 3 left over, so then my answer will be 1 3 fifths. So that would be 1 3 fifths would be my answer. Okay, now I'm going to show you a second way of how you can do this. Same problem. So 2 2 fifths minus 4 fifths. And like I said, we're going to use multiplication. So I know that 2 wholes, I have 2 wholes. So I'm going to multiply my whole number by my denominator. Then I need to add my numerator to that number. All right, so I'll multiply 2 times 5 and then add my numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And then our denominator does not change, so it still stays 5, and that's 12 fifths. And if we look back at our number bond, that's the same number that we got. same improper fraction was 12/5. Then I can subtract 4/5 and then do the same thing that I had. And I won't finish out that problem because we already did that. All right. So I'm going to do another one, example. All right. This time I'm just going to take the number 1. I'm going to take 1 and 6/8 minus 7/8. All right. I cannot take 7 from 6, so I have to regroup my whole. Well, if I do the number bond, I take one whole away, and then that whole turns into 8/8 because 8 is my denominator. And then I have to add 6/8 to that. So that gives me 14/8 minus 7/8 will give me 7/8. Okay? And that's by using a number bond. And now I'm going to use multiplication. Okay, 1 and 6/8 minus 7/8. So I'm going to take 1 times 8 plus 6. So 1, my whole, times my denominator, plus my numerator. So 1 times 8 is 8, plus 6 is 14, all over my denominator, which is 8. And again, it's the same answer that I have using my number bond. And that's 2 different strategies on how basically we're trying to take our mixed number and we want to make that into an improper fraction. This morning I showed you how to take an improper fraction and make it into a mixed number, but I did not reverse that. And that strategy, you'll have to use that when you're subtracting mixed numbers, okay? Let me do one more example. Let's take 3. 3 and let's go with 3 and 3/8 minus 5/8. Okay. Let's put it over here too. We're going to do 2 different strategies. First one will be number bond. And the second one will be multiplication. Okay. Again, number bond. I'm going to take one whole, and 8 is my denominator, so I have to make my other whole into 8/8. And I want to get this all the way to 0. 8/8. 0. 8/8. I'm going to circle every one of these because this is what I'm going to add together. So I'm going to add 8/8 plus 8/8 plus 8/8 plus 3/8. So I can skip count. 8, 16, 24 plus 3 is 27/8 minus 5/8. 27 minus 5 is 22, 22/8. Now again, that would be considered an improper fraction. So we have to divide 8 into 22. I know that 8 times 2 is 16. And I can regroup 12 minus 6 is 6. So I have 6 left over. So then my answer turns into 2 wholes and then 6/8. So back to my original problem, 3 and 3/8 minus 5/8 equals 2 and 6/8. Let's use it by multiplying. 3 times 8, 3 times the denominator, plus 3. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 3 equals 27. And that's the same answer that I had in my number bond. Okay, as you can see, multiplying is a lot more efficient. It takes up less space, but the number bond does explain it a little bit better what we're doing. we're actually taking a whole and making it into a fraction, taking a whole, making it into a fraction, taking a whole and making it into a fraction, and adding them all up, okay? Whereas this one is more, we would call this, this is more concrete, okay? And this one is a little less, you have to know your skills a little bit better, okay? So I gave you 3 examples of how to take a mixed number and make it into an improper fraction. And then at the end, we had to take a improper fraction and make it into a mixed number. So we actually used two different skills today. So I hope this helps. Okay, if you already took the assignment of 0601 and you didn't do, 0701 and didn't do very well, we'll do it over again. And hopefully that'll help. So get off my screen and have a great rest of the day. And we will see you. If I don't talk to you before Thursday, I'll see you at the Zoom meeting on Thursday.